Have you ever had that client who made your blood pressure rise the moment you arrived at their location? The one who questioned every document, argued about your fees, or wasn't ready when you arrived despite scheduling the appointment days ago? If you're nodding right now, you're in the right place. I'm Jennifer Cooper, and in my 5 years as a mobile notary, I've seen it all. Today, I'm sharing my proven system for turning your most challenging appointments into smooth professional interactions. Stay with me for the next 8 minutes, and I promise you'll walk away with practical strategies that will save you stress, protect your reputation, and maybe even turn those difficult clients into your biggest referral sources. Before we dive into specific strategies, let's talk about why clients become difficult in the first place. In my experience, difficult behavior rarely has anything to do with you personally. Instead, it usually stems from four primary sources. First, many clients are experiencing significant stress, whether they're closing on a house, dealing with a power of attorney during a family crisis, or handling end-of-life documents. These are high-stakes situations. Stress can make even normally pleasant people become irritable or demanding. Second, most people have very little understanding of notary requirements. They don't realize that we're bound by strict legal guidelines and can't just bend the rules because they forgot their ID or they need something unusual notarized. Third, some clients have had negative experiences with other notaries or service professionals. They might be approaching your appointment with defensive energy before you even arrive. And fourth, sometimes people are just having a bad day, and that has nothing to do with you or the appointment. You're simply catching the overflow of their personal frustrations. In my mobile notary practice, I've encountered four common types of difficult clients. The rusher wants you to skip steps and rush through everything. They'll say things like, "Can't you just sign it now and we'll handle the rest later?" Or, "I've done this before. We don't need to go through all of these steps." Then there's the questioner, challenges every procedure, fee, and requirement. They'll ask, "Why do you need to see my ID if I'm signing it right in front of you?" Or, "Why is there a travel fee when the other notary didn't charge one?" Then there's the unprepared client. They're not ready when you arrive. Documents are missing, they don't have proper identification, or signers aren't present despite clear instructions beforehand. And then finally, there's the boundary pusher, who asks you to do things outside your scope, like offering legal advice, backdating documents, or notarizing for someone who isn't present. Understanding these patterns has helped me depersonalize difficult interactions and approach them with more patience and professionalism. Your best defense against difficult appointments begins long before you arrive at the client's location. It starts with clear communication during the booking process. I always send a confirmation email or text that includes specific details about required documents, the exact form of identification I can accept, and who needs to be present. I also outline my fee structure clearly, including any travel fees, and explain approximately how long the appointment will take. For example, I might say, "Please ensure all signers have valid, unexpired government-issued photo ID. The appointment will take approximately 30 minutes to complete. All required verification steps and signatures. My fee is $15 for this service plus $30 for travel to your location, payable by cash, check, or mobile payment." This clarity eliminates surprises that can lead to frustration. Then I follow up with a reminder text the day before or the morning of the appointment. Something like, "Looking forward to meeting you at 123 Main Street at 2 p.m. All signers should be present with valid photo ID. Please have all documents ready for review." My mobile notary bag is another crucial part of my preparation. Beyond the essentials like stamps, journal, and pens, I carry extra copy of common forms, a portable phone charger, multiple payment processing options, a folder with printouts of notary laws and references, and business cards for referral information. And before I leave an appointment, I review the client's details and any specific requirements for their documents. I also check traffic and give myself extra time to avoid rushing, which can affect my professionalism. Finally, I have a mental preparation ritual. When I arrive at a client's location, I sit in my car for 30 seconds, take 3 deep breaths, and remind myself of my purpose: to provide a valuable service with integrity and professionalism. This brief moment helps me enter with the right mindset, regardless of what awaits me inside. Despite thorough preparation, challenging situations will inevitably arise. And when they do, these in-the-moment strategies have saved me countless times. First is the power of the pause. When a client becomes difficult, our instinct is to respond immediately, often defensively. Instead, I've trained myself to pause, take a breath, count to 3 before responding. This tiny window prevents reactive communication and allows me to choose my words carefully. For example, when a client recently questioned my travel fees, despite it being clearly communicated beforehand, instead of immediately defending myself, I paused, took a breath, and then calmly explained, I understand you're concerned about the fee structure. The travel fee covers my time, gas, and vehicle wear. It was included in the quote I sent you yesterday. Would you like me to show you that message? This leads to my second strategy, de-escalation language. I've developed a set of phrases that acknowledge the client's concern while maintaining professional boundaries. I understand this is important to you, and I want to make sure we get it right. And then there's, I can see you're concerned about this requirement. Let me explain why it's necessary. Then I wish I could help with that, but as a notary, I'm bound by state laws that prevent me from whatever it is they're asking. These phrases validate the client's feelings without compromising my professional obligations. Your body language is equally important, especially when you're in someone else's space. I maintain a professional yet approachable posture, standing or sitting, straight, making appropriate eye contact, and keeping my hands visible and still. I match my tone to create calm, speaking more slowly and quietly if the client seems agitated. When in the client's home or office, I'm mindful of my physical presence. I ask where they prefer me to set up, respect their space, and maintain appropriate distance. This shows respect for their territory while establishing my professional role. Setting boundaries is perhaps the most crucial skill for handling difficult clients. When a client asks me to do something outside my scope, I use a firm but kind response, like, I understand that you're in a hurry, but skipping the journal entry would put both of us at legal risk. Let's complete this step properly. It'll only take an extra minute. If a client becomes inappropriate or aggressive, I have a 3-step approach to that. One clear warning. I need to complete this process according to the legal requirements. If that's not possible today, we may need to reschedule. A pause to give them time to consider. If necessary, a professional exit. I don't think we can complete this notarization today under these circumstances. Please contact me when you're ready to proceed according to the required process. Remember, your safety and professional integrity come first. It's better to walk away from an appointment than compromise either one of them. How you handle the aftermath of a difficult appointment is just as important as how you manage the situation in the moment. First, document everything. As soon as I return to my car, I make detailed notes in my journal about any unusual circumstances, specific challenges, or concerns that arose. This documentation has protected me multiple times when clients later disputed what happened. Next, I send a professional follow-up email for appointments that had issues. Something like, thank you for meeting with me today. I wanted to clarify the reason I couldn't complete whatever the task was as requested. As a notary, I'm bound by state law to whatever the explanation is. I'd be happy to schedule another appointment once whatever needs to be resolved is addressed. This creates a paper trail and often diffuses tension by explaining requirements in a non-confrontational setting. Self-care after a difficult appointment is also essential. I have a decompression ritual for the drive home after challenging interactions. I listen to my favorite music, practice deep breathing, or call a colleague to vent professionally. This prevents me from carrying negative energy to my next appointment or home to my family. And finally, I conduct a brief personal review. What went well despite the challenges? What could I have done differently? What will I do next time? This turns difficult experiences into professional growth opportunities. Sometimes the best decision is to decline future business from certain clients. I maintain a private list of addresses or clients I won't serve again due to unprofessional behavior, excessive demands, or ethical concerns. This isn't about holding grudges. It's about valuing my time and protecting my business reputation. Let me share some real scenarios I've encountered and how I handled them. Scenario 1, the late night emergency. A client called at 9 p.m. needing documents notarized right now for a morning deadline. They offered to pay double, but were vague about what needed signing. How I handled it was I said, I understand this is urgent. I can meet you tomorrow at 7 a.m. to ensure we have proper light and can complete the process correctly. For tonight, I need to know exactly what documents need notarizing and who will be signing them to ensure I can legally perform this service. This maintained boundaries while offering a solution. Scenario number 2, the ID problem. I arrived for an appointment and the signer had an expired driver's license plus a work ID without a photo. My response? I can see you're prepared with identification, but state law requires current government issued photo ID. I can't accept an expired license or a work ID without a photo. Would you like me to reschedule for after you've visited the DMV, or do you have a passport or other valid ID available? You could also offer the credible witness option if you have that ability in your state. They can act as human IDs. In scenario 3, the emotional signing. During a power of attorney signing for an elderly client, family members became argumentative about the document's contents. My approach was, I understand this is an emotional situation. However, my role is limited to verifying the signer's identity and willingness to sign. I need to speak privately with the signer to confirm they understand and consent to this document. Would you please give us a few minutes? This protected the signer while diffusing family tension. For each difficult scenario, I've developed a mental script that acknowledges the issue, explains the requirement, and offers a solution. I understand and acknowledge their concern. As a notary, I'm required to explain the rule. What we can do is offer a solution, because this simple formula has helped me navigate countless challenging situations while maintaining professionalism. As mobile notaries, we meet people on some of their most stressful days in their personal spaces, often during significant life events. Difficult interactions are inevitable, but they don't have to ruin your day or your business. Remember these key strategies. Prepare thoroughly with clear communications. Use the power of the pause when tensions rise. And employ de-escalation language that acknowledges concerns. Maintain professional boundaries with kindness, and document everything and learn from each experience. With practice, you'll develop your own toolkit for handling difficult clients with grace and professionalism. These skills won't just make your notary business more successful, they'll make it more enjoyable. Visit my website to download a free checklist of these strategies and scripts for common difficult situations. And join me next week when we'll talk to notaries from Nevada and Texas and give you step-by-step instructions on how to become a notary in those states. Thanks for watching, and remember, difficult clients can be your greatest teachers in providing exceptional service. See you next week.